Good day, everybody. This is the Outdoor Sports Club channel, and in the interest of lame reviews, I just reviewed some pants and I thought, hey, you know what, I'll review some shoes too. These are Merrell shoes, and I've been fairly impressed with Merrell shoes for the price so far. Once upon a time I had a pair of Danner boots that somebody gave to me, and they were outstanding. They were like a $300 pair of boots, and they were amazing. I loved them. And after they wore out, I could not afford to replace them. And I went through, like a lot of people have, I went through buying a bunch of cheap, kind of hiking shoe, hiking boot kind of things that just didn't last very long. I was paying $20 and $30 a pop for them. And I did buy a pair of Danner hiking shoes because my family, we were going to Montana and we were going to be doing a backpacking trip up there, and I just wanted some good shoes that would last me a while. I wore them for a little bit and broke them in, and they were great. I loved them. Not long after that, my cheap pair of shoes wore out, and so I took to wearing the Danner shoes every day. They're long gone, so they probably, I think I paid $120 for them, and they lasted probably a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that, which isn't terrible, but for $120 I'd like for them to last a little bit longer. Truthfully, I was putting them through some fairly rigorous use here and there. So then I went back through buying cheap shoes, just going through cheap shoes. One day I decided I'm done with the cheap shoes. I'm going to go and see if I can find a medium, what I consider a medium range set of shoes. And I bought these. I think these are what they call the Moab. I don't remember. And as you can see, I got a decent amount of use out of these. I can't honestly tell you how long I wore these, but they lasted a while. I was impressed with them. I believe I paid like $90 for them. And again, just like if you watch the review on the Wrangler pants, I wore these every day. I wore them to church, I wore them camping, I wore them to work. I was working in a shop about half the time and in an office about half the time, and I spent some time outside doing work as well, and again camping, running around in the woods, doing our run and gun things that we used to do, and they lasted well over a year. Like I said, I don't remember exactly when I bought them. I'd have to have my wife go look. She keeps track of all that stuff. I could have her tell me how long they lasted. But I liked them. After they went dead, after they kind of split out, I needed some shoes in a hurry that didn't look ridiculous. And I bought some cheap shoes again. They lasted maybe 6 months, maybe. And then I went back and I bought these Merrells. And again, I don't remember what these are called either. I like them a little bit better than these. I think they look a little better, and they are starting to split here. I haven't seen them, a lot of times shoes, or at least my shoes, seem to split here and over here. I'm not seeing that. It's obvious that I've bent my foot a lot there. That's kind of a hinge point, which is why they wear out there. But I don't see any other splitting. The soles still look pretty good. They're getting a little choppy here. Worn out over here where my heel comes down, but really the only thing that I've noticed so far on this one is this toe part's delaminating a little bit. This one's not so bad. In fact, there's really nothing wrong with this shoe other than some of the rubber on the soles chipping out, and I stepped in paint. But yeah, I mean, that one's solid. That one's got quite a few more miles on it. So if I might need to try to just glue this, which the glue never lasts very long, but if I can glue that toe, maybe they'll last a little bit longer. But I've had these for, I looked it up the other day, well over a year. Oh yeah. No, I remember. I bought these about a month before my camping trip in 2016 for Memorial Day. So I've had these for probably a year and a half almost, and I've been wearing them every single day. There is not a day that goes by that these don't get worn. I do spend a little bit more time in the office now than I used to, but I've traveled with them, and I've camped with them, and I've worked with them. When I go out in the yard and I work, I usually try to put these on when I go out in the yard and work, but some days I get lazy and I just leave these on, and I'll go mow the yard or dig. Right now I'm trying to build a deck, so these get a lot of use too. And for these are made in Vietnam, but for the, I would say $70 to $100 range, they seem to be lasting as long as my last $120 pair lasted, and they're lasting, probably 3 to 4 times longer than my $30 to $40 pairs have been lasting. So it's almost a wash, but they're more comfortable than the $30 to $40 pairs, and I don't have to worry about them popping apart and having to go buy new ones as often. So to me, it's worth it. And I think that's about all there is to say about the Merrell shoes. So even though they're not quite what Danner's would be or what some other brands would be, I like them, and I think I'm going to stick with them for a while. Thanks for watching.